Moso workshop. Moso means in Japanese delusion. I don't know, delusion is good word in English or not, but
Depends.
but in Japanese too, so bad and good meanings.
Yeah.
And you are many artists, and I think you could make some drawing, I think. And then we have a paper, and so please draw freely your delusion of these spaces. Now I think already, of course you can draw the very practically way, but also maybe if you have some idea for the buildings, just draw, and then we put on the wall and see what happens.
I was doing the big dream about breaking out of the space because you can't see the landscape inside the space. And I was looking at the light, the way that the projectors would have worked from narrow to broad beam, and so there's this projector working through here to the stage, but then across the top here is also opened up so that that you can get in at the top and the sun comes in, and so it warms the space in winter.
I guess I'm keen to get this started as soon as possible. Without any flooding.
Very, I think it's very good.
So, made, 4 or 5, false walls made of MDF, flooring MDF, which is really sturdy, you can walk on it, frame MDFs. So you have them, build 4 or 5 of them, and then you can do whatever you want with them. So over here I had a cube kind of thing, open one end with the mezzanine on the top. Maybe you can put another one on top, so you can have another loft there if you need.
Co-working spaces up on the mezzanine level where you look down. Down the bottom will be kind of closed in either office space and maybe closed black box exhibition spaces if you needed them. But I guess the main thing was kind of having an angled section at the front where people would climb up, and it was a bit of fun and play for the children, but they could also use that to watch the stage.
The inside totally open, strip back, everything in between, adding in a mezzanine level, make a lot of use of indoor-outdoor space. So the outdoors are like rooms, but full of gardens, so like clear roofing. So using that all along the outside and the front of the building, taking that right out onto the footpath with clear outdoor areas, because the other thing is Kandos in summer is just lovely.
This is a garden out here, so that whole space is a really lush garden that you can walk through to get round to the back, and you open from here into that, so you can walk through into the garden.
Which, for example, what kind of garden do you?
That's the here. That one is the tower. So that's like 7 or 8 stories.
Pop up.
And you go to a cathedral town.
Yes. Another. People can now. I think this is beside the main street, but also a little bit not center crossing. I think a little bit so next to. So I think maybe some symbolical.
I thought we needed a 3-story extension.
Okay. Nice.
The other thing I'm thinking similar things to other people. I've got 2 drawings on the one drawing. One of them is just the big fireplace.
That's nice.
And the other one is sort of rolling box, you know, the rolling sort of box studio.
That one's mine, and I was thinking about how to kind of divide it up so that you had little areas when you wanted them, but when you didn't want them, it would still feel like a big space. So I was thinking like a runway along from the front of the stage would give you two very clear rooms when you wanted very clear rooms, and the rest of the time it would still feel like one big room. And a big top centre in the middle. And then I thought that wasn't very delusional, so I...
Rubber insert.
The maze.
I
was thinking along the same kind of lines as Ian, the rolling boxes to slide around and use for different spaces. I don't know if you can get inside them. I think it's pretty cold in here and it's a pretty big space, you know, and I think all those little connections, the things that they used to do down at the projects where they'd get the kids in and have little things happening like that. And I think it's space I was thinking about.
So that you can have things on those circles, or they're tables that you bring together, or whatever, but they all just move around the space, and then this is delusional, so there are pipes so that you can pipe things in here. I don't know what you're going to pipe in here.
Like pneumatic.
But mainly just that it moves around, but really about social and how people move around the space one way or another. And so they might have objects on the tables, or they might be eating around.
This is what so middle is a pool and surrounding the something, so the art and things and people just swimming. So I understand. No, maybe we could make a hole in this floor, for example. And if we don't need, so we cover it, for example. But if it's open, so like a pool. So.
Well, if it's delusional, you can make it glass. You still see the water. You can walk on.
Or I'm thinking it's also like a fishing pond or something. Another thing I'm a little bit related to the surroundings are some kind of steps and then like a stadium. And I don't know, maybe it will be some surrounded the steps and the center is just open. People can, I don't know, something performing or art. I also draw the houses in house. So many small houses. I think, I don't know, some specific size or material, or I don't know exactly.
The idea of connecting with an outside, I sort of picture a conservatory or a glass house, or else a permeable thing, like latticing with lots of green.
My understanding of art is that it's a social activity. So I basically made the thing, I really loved it when we first came in and I saw that. And I thought, wow, it's actually more like a campfire than a fireplace. And if it was actually potentially built in such a way that the heat radiated all the way around, you could actually put couches around and you have this really open, lovely social space. And then the other half of the room is this half is more of a doing space.
But I've got tables and chairs and a lounge and all this fireplace. Office over there, which is a bit more enclosed, of course. That's too open at the moment. It's too cold. And a concertina type thing to show artwork that can be packed away.
So along the lines of what a lot of people were saying, I was thinking about the modular movable walls and spaces within spaces, and use like a gigantic installation and use that as an installation, as an artwork, but also as it could double as the guides for the modules that move around. And so I don't know if this drawing communicated as well. Like I drew some dotted lines on like where you could put things.
Multi-use, how the space could be broken just into really basic forms for using, but how they can potentially overlap so that they, again, somehow permeable. That maybe the shapes that we consider to be solid shapes somehow collapse as well, and can be opened up or collapsed. Because I really like the idea of inside outside, potentially like just exploding it up and out, and that walls can come and go or go up or pivot on their end, or go down, up and round, and spaces, or they all go up and you
show how to show or collapse the team into a room. I don't know. But there's plants growing in and out, and maybe like a big glass wall.
Like a cat.
You know, so it's like in winter, it's a sunroom, it's the sun trap that heats the space. And then in summer it's just all greenery. I don't know. Anyway, and there's solar panels on the roof. And the other thing that was really lovely was the light that was just coming in as well. So somehow I was just imagining that if the roof could explode off and you could have this play of light. Anyway, shadows.
The idea of that space, people seeing people, maybe that would be more of an artist space, because then people would see artists doing things at night, there'd be lights on. And then I suppose too, you know, just in terms of sustainability, you'd have these like fluffy solar panels that would connect to energy, like kinetic energy.
Like the Flying Nun, remember that
like
TV
the Flying
show?
Nun.
Yeah, we just have like
It would just flap around, but hopefully not make too much noise. And then
wings. We just
I
built
just
big wings
imagine
on building.
push buttons. And they roll around and follow the sun. So somehow they can move. So they can, and then that energy you can use to power some of the street lights, just out here. Because then people would go, oh, those artists, that's powering these lights.
If I allow, you allowed what I make a comment, maybe some so small space for the like exhibition space or some modular spaces, and also there's some kind of gathering space, so around the fire or kitchen and so on. So, and also the green or outside and inside. So this kind of things is very, very so important.
So people can circulate.
Ours got our flexible room, etc. got more and more flexible as we went on. So what we then started talking about was in fact building it on a movable base. So steel base in some modular like 2.4 or sort of type size, right? And it also meant more flexibility in terms of what you build on top of it. So you could either build a thing which went all the way up to the top of the roof, or you could build one which is only like half size and was just like say the height of that doorway there or something like that, right? So you had all this flexibility in terms of these different modules that you fitted into it. It may even be possible to find existing modules that are like scaffolding that lock together and clamp together, right?
Wow. And then thought about having the mezzanine is sort of extending the projection box out and have a cantilevered area over the street. So you're still giving shelter for people at the front of the building, but you're also, you've got windows to the south there to look over the mountain, and you're increasing the size of the projection box, which could be sort of like an office space or an artist working space.
And looking at getting rid of the driveway and turning it into a green corridor of some description the whole way down. So then it is also linking to whatever is going on in the backyard, and that's, you know, whether it's community gardens or whatever that planting is, it might have something to do with the cafe, or it could be people coming and actually utilising the space. And then we started thinking about the tower as well, and an evaporative cooling tower, right? So that you've got, you know, hey, in summer it's just going to be natural air conditioning out there. How good would that be? Yeah, you know, and then all that cool air comes streaming into the building. So
in winter you could have the hot tub.
And then the idea as well of northern looking windows, so you know, like the sort of the gun turret window that sort of opens on an angle, and then that's glass. And that captures the but then you've still got a wall.
Oh, okay. Half
so this is wall, but this face is glass, so it opens the wall out. So you're still, and you utilise into the garden space. So you're looking and it's great, drawing you down towards the backyard.
You lose the line between the indoor, outdoor, where the building starts and finishes. And we going to put in a glass floor, and we're either going to replicate the town or we'll replicate the old cement works.
Yeah.
So I think that would be good.
It would be nice to have a heritage element in the building, wouldn't it? That sort of had relevance to the whole town.
Because we were talking about community and kitchen, really, and how that's going to function. Like, really like the idea of that, of the big open space with the fireplace in the middle. At one point, we did come up with an idea. Like, Alex came up with the idea of a really long fire pit, which would be really nice. And so tables are really important, and so that they should be sort of this modular thing that is quite small, so that you can put them together. So architecturally speaking, it's really just the fireplace, but the kitchen, the coffee, like in terms of the cafe, the coffee can just be a window outside. People are just going to grab coffee and walk around and go wherever.
So we're going to get tape, and each of the groups are going to tape on the building the sizes of what they're imagining.
Say there's a wall, so each one square is 1.8 meters, which is half one of those sheets. Okay, just keeps it easy. About as high as that toilet. Okay, so in this case here, I was thinking, for example, 4 modules. So you have a space there. So you come in from here. You come in from here. You see, say there's a wall there. There's a 1.8 meter wall there. There's a little room here. You can have an installation or something here. You come around the corner here. You can have either the same exhibition or a completely different exhibition on this side.
Floor will be a little bit up.
Yeah.
And in that case, I don't know accessibility or the wheelchair or something like. So what happened? So that question.
We can have a little wedge, like a little wedge.
If you could get away with no
Yes. Of course, we can solve the problem, but if we could also keep in there some more walls, at least 2 corner with a top or some side.
Yeah.
So we could more easily to manage on only the wall, for example.
Yeah.
We were talking about taking the corner off the building to make it a different entrance. And so I started off with just a smaller corner, and I decided that wasn't enough. If we're going to do it, might as well do it properly, because we've got the mezzanine above now. So, but yeah, just so that it sort of changes the dynamic of the shape of the hall. Even though you've still got the hall, you've got a diagonal intersecting it. That means it comes in differently, and the doors would be much wider, and it would potentially speak to the space of the cafe without the cafe being this little, the cafe would be more the front there, and then once you've come in through this space, then suddenly you're in it. But I mean, it could even be slightly more, I suppose. But if you were going to do the northern windows, it could actually mimic that same angle.
Mezzanine, yes, please.
Yeah, so we thought this is the extent of the mezzanine, so it comes out further, and it lines up with that part of the building. So we thought that was important. And then this entrance will be pushed out to the street front, so to the
Maybe outside.
so your door's right here. And then they could actually allow you to put quite a nice a ramp to come straight in underneath. And then out, we didn't talk about going out, but it's probably the extent of an awning out to over the street. Oh, that's nice. Yeah.